there you are. Welcome to my workshop.
As you can see, I've got one of these newfangled moving picture devices, and I'm going to use it to tell you a little story about something I'm working on right now. First of all, let me just show you what I've been working on. Here we are, my design for a time machine. Can you see it? It's a beautiful device. Where did I get the inspiration? Well, you may know my friend H.G. Wells. There he is. We've been friends since childhood. He wrote this book that everyone seems crazy about, The Time Machine. But what he doesn't know is that I've actually been developing one. I can travel to the future, but it's just a prototype. There's so many calculations to work out to get everything going as smoothly as I want. Look at them, all the tables of figures I've had to calculate. There's just data everywhere, and it's really hard to keep track of it. But most importantly, what I need right now is some more funds, money, to be able to develop it even further. And I've just put up a notice to request funds from investors, and I would love to track what they think about my idea.
There must be a better way to keep track of all this information. I have an idea. I'm going to use my prototype time machine and take myself 100 years into the future. I can see if there's anything there that can help me. But first, I'll put on my time travelling hat.
Now I'm ready to go. I'll see you in the 21st century. Here I am in 2018, 100 years since I left home. And I can tell you it is an amazing, most wondrous place. First thing I'm going to do is remove my pilot's hat. I don't need that anymore. Let's put the Old Faithful on. I'm much more comfortable with that. Let me just show you some of the things I found. Here are some of the things I found in the 20th century. It's amazing. There are computers, things that let you calculate information, and a thing called the internet, a Google thing that lets you type in information and find whatever you want. It is just truly wondrous. What will I be able to do? How will this help me to track my data? So many books that have examples of how people have visualized data. There must be something I can do to make it more interesting. Let me just have a look on Google and see what I can find. That's hilarious. An article I have found. Is time travel possible? They're ignoramuses. Oh look, someone else has developed a time machine. It's a beautiful device. Rather noisy, but I may be able to steal some ideas from there. Very useful. Just look at this. The sheer scale, volume, variety and speed of data being circulated now in 2018 is just incredible. I have an idea. I can make a data monitor that can track just the important information I need and display it on dials, just like I have on my time machine. I just have to think how to make it, what materials can I use, and how can I make the dial move. I've discovered there are things called laser cutting machines that make it so easy to make things out of wood. I don't need the advanced carpentry skills I thought I would need in order to make a device. I'm just having a look at this moving picture to see how they work. Very nice looking machine, but where are all the knobs and dials? Luckily I brought my trusty sketchbook with me. I've just sketched out a few little ideas for this data monitor, and now I'm going to get it made up. Got all the dimensions worked out. I'll laser cut the main cabinet out of plywood, and then I'll see if I can find a material like glass to put on the dial faces. Let's see how I go. Right, now we're laser cutting the plywood. Plywood's a material made out of bits of wood sandwiched together, which makes it really strong but very easy to make and cheap to buy. The laser cut is just going through now the last bit. Those wiggly lines are the bend in the plywood. Next we're cutting out some cardboard prototypes just to check everything fits together. I'm cutting out the dial, the faces, the pointer needle, making sure that the dial cases fit onto the shape that I've designed for the lovely data monitor. Another thing I need to cut out of using the laser cutter is this piece of acrylic, which is a clear piece that's going to be used for the
faces of the dials to protect the dials. It's a bit like glass, but it's made of plastic, which lasts forever, unfortunately. Another thing I did was to test the dials using the microbit. So once I program it, just check.
Yes, I've got everything I need, all the parts. Now I can go back home and make it up into a beautiful data monitor. Got the pilot hat on. See you later.
Now I'm putting the pieces together, the panels, just assembling them, wood stained them, just making sure everything's fitting. You can see a close-up of the lovely curve in the plywood that I managed to cut through with using a laser cutter. Then looking at the brass cases to see how we can fit the motors inside them. Here's the breadboard with the micro bit fitting inside the back of the monitor, and once again showing some of the wiring for the micro bit. And lovely aerials to pick up the internet signal, of course.
Here it is. I've got it working. Isn't it beautiful? The left-hand dial's tracking my investor reactions to the new ideas. They're all over the place. Some love it, some hate it. It's flickering left and right. On the right-hand side, though, I'm tracking the investors who are putting money into my project, and it's looking good. Nearly up to 100% now. If I get there, I'm going to reset it so I can get some more investment for the next phase of my project. It's looking good. We're there. I'm at 100%. Good on you. It's reset now. Let's just stop it. One more thing I've added. I discovered this thing called a CD, in which you can store data. So when I've got the historic data, I just need to feed it to this little fella. There we go. And then I'll be able to turn it on and track my historic information. This is going to make my planning so much easier. Oh, there you are again. Good to see you. Well, I can tell you, my friendly data monitor's been a big success. Some of my investors have said they want one for their own company. They're going to put it on the front desk of their offices so that when people come, they can see how their customer feedback is rating. They can also see their sales against target for each month. Or I can do a custom version and program it for each different client in a different way so they can monitor whatever they want. Or maybe I'll just make a better time machine. See you.